Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Nicole. Today, I am very excited to have Captain Jo Nell with the South Carolina Highway Patrol. He is the captain over Troop 5, which covers Darlington, Dillon, Florence, Georgetown, Horry, Marion, Marlborough, and Williamsburg counties. I call him Joe. Everybody else calls him Captain, but Joe and I have been friends for 30 years. When I moved to Florence originally to take my job with WBTW, Joe and I met. He was on the patrol there in the area, and we've been friends ever since. Captain, welcome to Conversations with Nicole.
Hello, Nicole. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. That was so formal because you and I are so friendly. I mean, we're friends. We've been, so you would say, I would say Joe, you would say Nikki, but we're being a little bit more formal here. But I want our conversation today to be like two friends talking about what's happening in our world today. But before we get to that, I want to tell folks a little bit about you. You are a volunteer football coach at Carolina Academy in Lake City, South Carolina, and you've done that for many years.
Yes.
So you're captain and coach. And you are a member of Church at Sandhurst in Florence, where you're very active, and you've also been on several mission trips, and that's pretty phenomenal. So what that says to me and should say to others, as you are a giving individual, I know that, but I want the rest of the world to know that you are one of the most giving individuals I have ever met. You have such a good heart, and I'm getting a little emotional, isn't that? Just typical of Nikki. But when I think about you and the way that you have represented the South Carolina Highway Patrol, members of the African American community, your brothers and sisters in Christ, your friendships with people like me, we should all want to be more like Jo Nell. And I just want to thank you for your service, for your 34 years of service. I believe I got that right. 34
Yep.
years of service, serving in South Carolina Highway Patrol, and your service to the community. And I want to thank you for your friendship.
Thank you. Thank you for being my friend.
Well, you know I love you. And
Yeah.
so I really appreciate you and all that you have meant to me over the years. And I'm thankful that I have hopefully many more years of friendship with you. That being said, I thought it would be good to talk about with you sort of our state of affairs in our country right now. There's so many good things that happen in our country, in our communities, you know, our local communities, in our state. But unfortunately, we're seeing some sadness, some real sadness in our country today, with people dying in police custody, riots following, and it's really sad. And so, and while we should be coming together, too often we see people dividing. And I thought, if you didn't mind, we would start with sort of your thoughts on where we are in this country, and as you, as an African American man, a leader in your community, and also in law enforcement, I value your perspective, and I think others will too. So share your thoughts.
Well, my thoughts are, I feel that it's tough sometimes because I think about all the stuff that's happened. I know you said you get a little emotional. I do too, because this job means I love this job that I do. I came on this job to help, and my thoughts. But then too, later on in life, I believe that God put me here. Sometimes it takes you a while to understand why you're here. And I believe that, things happen. Things happen that I don't like, especially when you have the state of our country. It's just like it's separating. And we have some good people in the United States. We have good people in our area.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we're here to do. Is we're not here to take sides. We're here to help everybody. And I just feel for everybody, the people that lost. I feel for George, who was killed. I feel for the whole state of everything that's going on in the United States. And it's even going farther past the United States. I don't like it because I get along. I feel I get along with everybody. My parents, my high school, the people that I'm around, they taught me how to. You learn from good and bad,
Yeah.
and you learn how to take care of yourself because you learn from the people who does. You see that's wrong, so you don't want to be like them. And the people that's good and who helps people, you learn from them too. And I hope I answered your question. It's just, I just don't like it. I hate it. It hurts. It hurts me as an officer. It hurts me as a person more because we weren't brought on this earth to be separated.
Exactly. I love that. We were not brought on this earth to be separated. We were brought here to be as one and to love one another. At least that's how you and I feel about things. And we've said before, if we had more love and we had more do unto others as you would have them do unto you, things would be very different. Sadly, we all come from different places in our life. What do you tell people maybe when you talk to them that maybe are resentful or don't think the way that you do? You come across some folks that probably don't like law enforcement and don't have some nice things to say about you. When you find yourself in that position and you have an opportunity to talk to someone, what do you share with them? How can we make the change by having the conversations?
Well, it's when you find somebody like that, and I can tell you, I was naive when I came on the patrol. I felt that everybody got along. I thought it was good. It just I really thought that, but I found out that a lot of people, and when I say a lot, I counted as 1%. They don't like police officers. And sometimes you can really tell that by how their tone is and how they interact with you. And if you've been on as you get the as you have more and more time on the patrol, like I did on the force, you learn that you could see it coming, and you try to break it off, or you try to not break it off, but you see it coming, so you kind of channel it a different way. You try to do things that's going to help. Hey, you see it coming, so you're going to say, hey, I'm going to say this word. I'm going to say this. So you try to talk to people. First of all, you listen to them. Listen to what they have to say and then come back with a perspective. And they understand it. You'd be surprised on so many people that when they leave you, even if you've given them a warning or a ticket and they were so, didn't like this, what was going on, and they thought this, after you talk to them and you listen to them, their attitude when they leave is changed. And that's one of the things you kind of, for me, that was a challenge because, when somebody left and they were happy, and not everybody left happy, but you could tell it was a difference in them, and it helped. So it helped me. It helped me get better at it, and I learned by listening. And another way I learn is by just reading the Bible, because it gives you words that you can use on your daily thing. The Bible was written 2,000 years ago, I guess, or more, but it's words in it that's it's good for the day. It's sayings in there, and I don't quote it. I don't know it. It's just that sometimes words come to you that I think God has put me in a place where He gives me the words to say, and it comes out, and that's what I have to really, using them words. That's what helps me more than anything.
Right. Love one another, use our words, listening. You hit on all the things that we all need to be doing more of. And I wonder, with your leadership, do you have all these years, have you tried to talk to the men and women that you supervise, and how to guide them and how to teach them that words, along with, the technical stuff, the policies, the procedures that you go through, and trying to do better as far as protecting and serving your communities? As a leader, I'm sure you've had those conversations with the folks that you oversee.
Yeah, because I sent out a word of the day, or a word of the week. Sometimes might be a word of the month, but I try to do that, and I send things to them because it's even before all this has been going on, I've been doing that. And the different words that you have, I have a lot of comments come back from them that said, man, this is great, but it's words that we need, every day is, little comfort, little listening. It's about listening, about just, being there for people.
Right.
And you try to do that for them. But I talk to them too, and I don't shy away from big stuff. I don't shy away from people separating, or if it's race or something happens like with the police officer. I want to talk with them. I want to know what their feelings are,
right.
because I want to know what their perspectives are, because yes, I'm going to give them my perspectives. I'm going to give them our policy perspective, plus our just the world perspective of just thinking, this job is common sense to me. It's just good old common sense. And I want them to make good old common sense. We have a band that I use all the time and say, make good choices.
Yeah, make good choices. That's what I like to tell my children, make good choices.
Mm-hmm. And we got this from one of our wives. That's what she tells her children every day before they leave out the house. Make good choices. So that's what I want. We have these bands, and I give it to the troopers. They also give it out to the public. Yeah. Whenever they see him, they might see a little child, might see somebody older. We have one, he keeps a wristband of them, and he gives them out and shakes hands, make good choices. Because what choices you make today is going to affect you tomorrow. So I want my guys to know that too. I want my girls to know that. The guys and girls on the highway patrol, that's them, the men and women there. They have to know that. And I want them to know, because we are here to help, but then too, we human, and we got to make good choices. So I want them to do that first.
Well, and it is difficult in general when you deal with the public, and to not lose your cool, to try to maintain control, and especially if someone is being ugly back to you, you have to dig deeper into your soul, take a couple of deep breaths, so that you don't give in to when someone else is not making that good choice. And that is hard. That is really hard. And I think that you are a wonderful example of that. And a lot of that does come with experience and age. But the key is to start helping the younger people in whatever profession you're in, and in life in general, to realize that. And always don't jump to conclusions. Don't assume something. As you said before, listen. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me what's going on, and tell me in a way that we all can understand, and let's work it out. I mean, sometimes people just make totally bad choices. The end, things have to be dealt with. But in conversations that you can have with folks and the people that you work with, your friends, that's really where the difference is made, and change is made.
And it is. I was thinking here when you were talking just now, and when you're dealing with somebody, I stopped somebody not too long ago and wrote them I stopped him for speeding. Yeah. And when I went up there, the guy, he started talking to me, and he was saying that he was going through a bad time, and he just kept talking, and I just stood there, and he looked at me and he said, "You know what?" He said, "I'm telling you my life story, and I know you got other things to do." And I told him, I said, "Sir, no," I said, "I'm here to listen just like that too. Even though I stopped you, I'm here to listen." And, you have a lot of people, they have things going on in their life, and their minds are here, minds are there. And they just want somebody to listen to them. Right. And that's what we're here for, is to also listen. But sometimes you can still listen, but you still have to do your job.
Right. You all have to do our job. That's right.
Mm-hmm. You have to do your job. Sometimes it's, you don't have to take anybody to jail. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to give them a ticket. Sometimes you don't. But we have to verify that by giving them something as far as, a contact that we have to do. And that's our policies and stuff. But it's not, it's just to help. We're here to help, and also help people. Like you said, it might be somebody younger at the time, and we tell them, make good choices, because later on in life, when you are putting in for a job, like job for Nikki what I have, they're going to look at your record. And if you did something, it's going to come back, and if you made good choices, you're not going to have to worry about that.
And I know that you, like I've done all through the years, you're in schools, you're talking to young people, the Boys and Girls Club, coaches, with your team. You're out there in the community, and that dialogue needs to be told to children, because children are growing up and they can be the game changers. I always had this thought, is that whenever I went into a classroom, or we had tours come in, or wherever I was, I loved on all the children, treated them all the same. I mean, that's who I am anyway, and I want to be like that. But I intentionally made sure that each child knew they were special. And I would tell them, because I can say this, and this is my opinion now, that God made us all. We're all special, and we all have a purpose on this earth and can do good. And I would tell them that. And I think that's the thing that more people need to be doing, is letting those who don't necessarily didn't have moms and dads and weren't raised like me and you. We were lucky. We were raised in good, loving Christian homes where we wanted to do good, and we served in our communities at young ages. And we're so blessed to have that. Sometimes children are not born into great circumstances. Sadly, you see it in your line of work, and I see it in mine, and it is heartbreaking to see children come into homes that where there is abuse and criminal activity taking place. Sometimes it is so overwhelming to have to report on those things. I can't hardly stand it sometimes, because I worry. I think, what is happening in these homes? But if people who can get into these places like the schools and share, you can overcome things, you can do better, you have value, you're important, let me listen, let me help you get the resources, or just love, it will change who we are as a society, and things will get better. But we all have a responsibility, and I feel like you feel that way.
Well, I really do. I enjoy going to schools.
Yeah.
I enjoy our troopers going to schools. Is like when they go with our CRO, I want one of my troopers to go there, because I think it's important. Because when you're out on the road, or you stop somebody, sometimes that's the first contact a child has with you, is when you stop their parent.
Yeah.
And they are scared, and their parents are a little scared also. And I don't want them to think, oh man, this policeman stopped me, or this trooper stopped me, and that's the only thing they get, and it's a ticket, and it's bad.
Yeah, they're the bad guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want that.
No, I want to, and that's why I want to go in schools. We do that. We have troopers that go in schools. We have troopers that are that talks to a class, because you can go in there and you see the kids. And my thing is, I don't care if you black, red, green, color, nationality, you're going to be the same with me, because I'm going to give you the same. I'm going to talk to you the same. I'm going to ask the question, because the little kids, the first thing they want to know is, who have you shot?
Oh,
and that's the, it hurts me to hear that, because, and I have to tell them, I said, I don't pull my gun out or anything unless, it's got to be really, really bad.
right.
So I don't use that. I haven't, but let me tell you what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, I coach football. I go to church. I come in here and I talk to y'all. We have different things. We got coloring books. We have this. We have this. Let me tell you what you got to do to make it. You got to study. You got to listen to your teacher. Have to listen to your parents. You have to, because I want to see you get to the next grade. I want to see you either be a doctor, police officer, nurse, anything. I want to see you do that. Be a fireman. But you have to do these things first.
Mm-hmm.
You have to listen to your parents. You have to listen to your teacher. You have to study. You have to do good. And that's what I want them to know. And hopefully one day I'll go to a school, and as long as I'm on the patrol of these other guys, and it won't hear that, the first thing might be is, hey, what sports do you like? Or how did you do in school? You know, something like
Yeah,
that, you know, because that, it really hurts sometimes when you hear it,
yeah,
but you know it's going to come. So you have to be ready for it. And you just
absolutely.
say, mhm.
You know, sadly, things that have happened, they get highlighted in the media, and that is why people don't trust law enforcement. And I would probably the incidents um, have to impact you as well when you see things that happen and officers being involved in things that are not right. Um, how do we fix that? You know, some people just should not be in certain positions. Maybe they weren't vetted, or maybe something happened, and whatever the case may be. How do we change that? Do we need better, um, you know, checking people out before we are putting them in these positions? More training, more mental health training and testing, and what are your thoughts on that to help that situation so that people are not looking at you and going, yeah, you're all bad. You're here to hurt us, not help us.
Nikki, I just think you have to be the supervisors if they do get on, because I think we have a lot of processes that we have on the patrol that helps take care of that. But the thing is when you first get on, you know, you go through all these tests and they train you to do this, they train you to shoot, they train you to drive, but it's a lot of stuff that we don't train you to do, and that's when you've been involved in so many incidents. You see a dead person, you go to shootings, you
Mhm.
go to suicides, it starts to get to you. But I think we are getting better at it. The state of South Carolina, because we have a program here that we put out, the South Carolina LEAP, South Carolina Law Enforcement Assistance Program, and it helps us mentally. And we have a lot of, I guess, uh, people to help us do things,
Yeah.
not only them but ourselves. I think that's one thing we need. We definitely need that, because I can see a change in different things. A lot of things go on, and I'm gonna tell you when they happen. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to put on my uniform, and that hurts. I mean, it hurts when you don't want to, because you know it's wrong, and we have to be a voice to say, hey, when it's wrong. It's one thing, you know, you can't hide from it,
That's
and
right.
you have to, hey, it is what it is, and you just got to keep walking it. But you know, I'm able to put it on, but that's just how I feel at the beginning, because it hurts me, because even though it might be 1,000 miles away, I wear a uniform. I'm a police officer, so it's going to hurt me. And a lot of people say, Joe, you're a trooper. No, I'm a police officer too. I'm a trooper, but it still hurts, because we do the same thing. We're trying to save people, trying to help people.
Well,
Um,
it's public service too. I mean, you're here to keep people safe and protect and serve. And when one of your brothers and sisters in law enforcement stumbles and does something bad and wrong, it's a reflection upon all of you. And that is really no different in any other profession, except for oftentimes the results are deadly. And that is hard for people to understand. But I think it goes back to what you said earlier. One bad person should not be a reflection of everybody, for because the Jo Nells of the world, you're out there and you're doing good. What we have to do is talk politely, openly, kindly, with respect, and listen. And then that's when the change happens.
and
That's the way it's got to be done to get the change. And that sort of leads me into my next thought process. Now we're seeing cities, local governments want to defund law enforcement agencies. What do you think about that? I mean, sometimes we can go too far or not do far enough. Um, what, how do we get it right?
well, first of all, I think everybody needs to talk, have dialogue. I
Mhm.
think if you get the dialogue right and everybody's talking, you're not going to agree on everything, but you can talk, and you can talk this out. I think you have to do what's good for your area.
Right.
But I think the main thing, talk as a country, we have to talk as a community. We got to talk. I'm talking about yelling back and forth. I'm not talking about, oh, here and you talk this way, and you got to come to some type of agreement or some type of, and everybody has to listen to everybody, and we don't do that. I think. And I think that would take care of all the, we fund this, we need to do this, we need to do that. I think when you talk and you say on your mind, and everybody comes up, we're going to come up with a plan that's going to help everybody. Because in what they're doing now, we have to make sure that we're taking care of everybody.
Yeah.
And I think the dialogue, just if you would talk, I think that, and listen to each other,
Right.
I think that would take care of a lot of the defunding and all that stuff. And that's just my personal opinion. I really
Right.
think.
Well, like we said before, talking and listening and really come together with solutions, not just creating more havoc and not more divide. I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up, but I did want to say it has been a true honor to be your friend. I'm thankful for you and all that you have meant to me over the years, and you've always been someone that I could count on, I could trust, and I know that if I ever got in a situation and I needed somebody, I know I could call Jo Nell, because that's the person that you are, and I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm thankful for you, and I think that we are so lucky in this part of the Carolinas and in the state of South Carolina to have someone of your caliber, your character, and your kindness and your love for the Lord overseeing, troopers in our area and making a difference in your community through your volunteer work and through your church. And your family just should be so proud of you and all that you've accomplished all these years. And I know they are. And I know some are looking from heaven upon you right now, Jo. And I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I hope that others will see that we can make a difference in our communities, and we can be in certain roles that oftentimes are not looked upon kindly, and show people that we're the difference makers, and we can get through this if we stick together and not be divisive and try to love one another and try to understand where everybody's coming from in their life. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'd just like to say a few things. Thank you for being such a great friend to me for all these years. I am who I am is because of God, my parents, my coaches, and friends like you who've helped me be better. And a lot of people say, well, how do your friends and stuff help you? You just don't know. I take a lot from a lot of people, and I just use it and listen and learn from a lot of people. And I've watched you over the years, and you have been great to us. You have been great to this community. And when we needed something, hey, we called Nikki. Nikki will tell us what we need to do, and you helped us out a lot. And I appreciate you a bunch. And just I thank you for all that. But it's not me. It's my guys and my girls here in the troop. They are Troop 5. I'm just here. I'm just Jo Nell here, and they run it. They take care of me, and I have to give it to them. And like I said, God is the one, and my people.
Well, I'm glad I'm part of your people,
There you go.
and you're part of my people. So
Well, thank you.
We are truly blessed to have each other as friends, and the community is blessed to have you in it as well, Jo. So we will obviously be staying in touch over the years, and we'll do this again, and we'll talk again, and try to do what we can to help others in our community see see the good things in life, and to try to always be better. Like you said, you want to always be better in life, and you've helped me be better, and I want to do that for others too. And you've certainly been an inspiration to so many. So thank you for your service and for your friendship, sir.
Thank you again, and just let everybody know too. Nikki helped me get a drunk one time. I want to bring
that up, but since you did, yeah, tell the story, Joe, about how I helped you get a DUI one night. Leadership Florence, it was a ride along.
Leadership Florence, we were on 52 South. Car was in front of me, and Nikki said, "Joe, that car's drunk."
I said, "Joe, that car just went right in front of us. Just, I mean, what's wrong with him? You think they're drunk?" Joe was not paying attention. Well, and he got a DUI. We
got a DUI. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Listen, I'm always here to help. I think though that maybe I could have been a part of your team in a larger way. If the media thing didn't work out, I might could have been there for you. Since I was so observant that night.
Yep.
Yeah. So proof that we do go back a long way. Oh gosh, fun stories. We'll be sharing those stories forever. But thank you for spending time with me today. All right.
Thank you.
This has been another edition of Conversations with Nicole. Hope you guys all have a great day.